First of all, I want to tell everybody Merry Christmas. We have less than a week until Christmas. I hope everybody is having a better time finding gifts than I am, because I feel like we went from July to Christmas and I'm almost in panic mode, but it's okay. It's all right. We were in the garden not too long ago talking about deer and how the deer had eaten some of my collards and they'd been nibbling on my cabbage. Everything for the most part grew back, and we didn't lose anything. We just we still have some ugly collards. But I wanted to take a few minutes this morning, or almost lunchtime, and talk about one of these cabbages that we planted. This is one of the new varieties that we had this year. I should have looked before I came down here to show you this cabbage. I'm not going to tell you the name in this video because I need to go back and look at my notes. I don't want to tell you the wrong kind and everybody be looking for whatever kind I tell you and it not be this cabbage. So we'll post that later. But I wanted to grow this cabbage. I've never grown a flat cabbage before. So Sue and I planted just a few of this variety. The deer nibbled on them a little bit. We broke those leaves off. If this was standing up this morning, the cold will make it do this. The bugs have been eating on the leaves out here. That's no big deal. But this plant was huge and it's beautiful. If you plant cabbage, one thing you have to worry about up on the head of the cabbage is a little bit of burn. That's just where it's been cold. You're gonna peel these leaves off and you can cut that little bit off. They've all got a little bit of it. There's a round head over there that needs to be cut. It's got some cold on it. But I wanted to, a lot of people ask about cabbage and when to plant cabbage and how hard they are to grow. We've done nothing but water this bed, mulched it with some of our leaves, put fertilizer on it maybe twice, and then just left them alone. Haven't been down here much at all because it broke my heart to come down here and look at my collards and how the deer were enjoying them, and I wasn't gonna be able to. But I do want to show you this. I do want to show you this cabbage. Look at the size. Now, some of you may be familiar with, oh shoot, it just left me. Oh, this is why I didn't want to say names of anything right now. We have in the past sold a variety of a flat-headed cabbage, and then I haven't been able to get the seeds for a while. That's why I wanted to try this one. This is huge. The thing about the flat cabbage though is, let's see if I can get up under here and cut this. I stole Stephanie's box cutter too. I couldn't find my knife with a better blade. We may just have to pull it up. Maybe I should have started this video with don't bring a box cutter to the garden, bring a real knife. But anyway, the leaves are also so big I can't really find the stem. Let's see. I just pulled it up. There we go. I won. that is a flat-headed cabbage. Now, a lot of people don't like the flat cabbage. I've never grown them, but I've heard people talk about them over the years about how much better they like cutting this when they're chopping it up for coleslaw or even frying cabbage, because you don't have to get you a big butcher knife to cut that round head of cabbage like you would normally see in the grocery store. Not really sure on the inside what the core of it's gonna look like. I'll let you know how that is when I get it home and cut it. I'm gonna say this is probably close to 10 pounds. But this is what your flathead cabbage looks like. When we have our plants out front, we try and put signs out there or some kind of information as to, you know, whether it's a round head or a flat head, whether it's hybrid or heirloom. I'm gonna go back and look at my list and get the details on this one, because we planted this bed in September. So I'm not even gonna try to guess, and we do have some signs. Not everything got a sign, and then some of the signs are gone. So that's why I'm not gonna try and guess and tell you what this is. But if you're interested in growing cabbages, like I said, we planted this in September. Other than the deer, keeping the deer out of the collards, we've fertilized maybe twice. We've watered a couple of times, but then we've had good rains too. The temperatures have been good down here. I need to come back and get the rest of these though, because you don't want a lot of this. I mean, that's just wasting, you know, that's parts of this that I'll have to throw away. So, and I'm gonna tell you also that I have some that aren't quite this big. There's one there and one there that are a little smaller. Because I know a lot of you are saying, I don't need a head that big. I could have come and harvested this one sooner than now and not let it get this big, but I wanted to let it grow and see how big it would get too. We still have our collards over there that have put back out. Looks like we got a little bug problem, maybe from where it's cold and then it warms back up, and then it's cold and it warms back up. So everybody's eating good off the collards except me. We've got Brussels sprouts. If you look here, here's an odd, we just stuck this one in here. We got all kind of little baby Brussels. We don't have leaves because the deer ate those. But like I told you in the video when talking about the deer, they ate the leaves, but it's not going to affect the Brussels sprouts growing on the stems. They haven't nibbled on these Brussels sprouts over here, and we've got some really pretty Brussels at the bottom of that plant. So this is our fall garden. I mean, you don't get as much of a variety of things. Everything's green, and if you don't like cabbage or collards or Brussels sprouts or broccoli, you know, the fall garden may not be your thing, but it's super easy. To me, the fall garden is much easier than your spring garden, because you don't have to worry about as many insects, and you don't have to worry about watering as much when it gets hot, because you got your cooler temperatures. So there you go, easy peasy cabbage, and I'll let you know how it tastes after I fry it up.